the outlawed TTP has to some extent restored their previous, I would say, their setup in Swat, and the concern of the people, I think, are genuine, because the people have seen violence in Swat in 2009 when the valley was under the ultimate control of the TTP. And we had seen that time that within days, around 2 million people they fled Swat, and they took shelter in Mardan or some other areas. People don't want that. Repetition, no. And they will not compromise. And the people have already conveyed this message to all sides, to the TTP and to the government and other institutions who are who have the power, who make the decision. So and the people are not satisfied, because you mentioned the yesterday incident, and I just checked in Swat, and the protest is still going on in Swat, because the people want a very, very strong assurance. They don't accept only the statements, mere statements. So I think there is a need to dismantle whatever the TTP has established in Swat. I would say that the return of some TTP people to Swat and other areas, according to my information, and I will be saying this thing because of my interaction here in Islamabad with people who know all these things. The return of some TTP people, it was as a goodwill gesture, a confidence building measure that these people, because return of the TTP people is part of the negotiation that were held in Kabul. But unfortunately, some of the TTP people returned, but with arms. So this is the reason, because the people have mistrust. And this is the responsibility of the government, the political leadership, and I would say the military leadership, to convince the people, to protect the people. And as I mentioned, the people, it is very difficult for the common people, because they still remember what had happened in the past. So terrorism is there, no doubt, and the people are worried. And yesterday incident again provoked the people there, and they have the right to protest. But unfortunately, my last point is, there is not a very strong response by the government, by the provincial government, by the local authorities, by the federal government. And unfortunately, our political polarization is so high that we are not focusing on national issues. Because the Swat issue and the return of terrorism in Pakistan, this is a very serious issue. We should do our politics. We should do, because we are a democratic country, whatever our system is. But please set aside politics when we face such kind of situation. The question is how these people return to Swat with arms. This is a question, because the debate during the talks in Kabul was that they will not return to their areas, not only to Swat, to other areas, to Waziristan, to Bajawan, to Khyber district, but they came there. The question is how? They have not come in helicopter. They have not returned in planes. So, and Swat doesn't have border with Afghanistan. So from where they came, how they climbed the mountains, and they arrested a military officer and police officer in August. So these are the questions. They should be responded. Only one statement, no, there is no threat. You cannot satisfy the people like this. And I mentioned earlier that the people have a lot of mistrust. And I think this is the time to convince them. If we do not focus on the concern of the people, this terrorism will not confine to only to Swat. So there is a need to remove those people from there and to investigate. One problem in Pakistan is that the people are crying, people are making demands, but the response is not very genuine, not very serious. And the people now understand these things. The people understand these things. And I would say, if they want to remove the apprehensions or the concern of the people, there should be such steps that you can satisfy them. Who stop them from taking action? I was surprised when I watched the video of the former minister, Murad Saeed, a few weeks ago, and he was saying that a game is played in Swat. The question is, PTI has a government in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The whole administration is with them. And now the military is not like in the past in Swat. Military is there, but the civilian administration is responsible for the security now, because Swat has already been handed over to the civilian administration. The TTP had declared a ceasefire on June 1st. But practically, this ceasefire is no more. Although there is no formal announcement to end the ceasefire, but practically it is ended because TTP daily, the TTP claims several attacks. There is the need of a very serious and a very powerful approach towards Swat. And this is not only Swat now, because Swat is there are several incidents. That's why the main focus is on Swat. But there are incidents in other parts of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and I mentioned today in Lahore. So that's why I'm saying that if these people were not stopped, this system which has been established now by the TTP, it was not dismantled in Swat or in parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or Dir or some tribal district. So you cannot then confine them to a very particular area. They can spread to other area like they claim today in Lahore. This is a very important question. Pakistan, you know about the political now uncertainty, and now Pakistan is facing the tragedy of the audio leaks. This is very unfortunate. That this is a very serious issue for Pakistan. But unfortunately, our leadership is not showing seriousness how to deal with this issue. Then political polarization is so high that we are not focusing on security issue. I would say if we did not properly, effectively, and quickly respond to what is happening in Swat, if we could not dismantle whatever system is established by the TTP now in Swat in other parts. So I would say, and if the political polarization and the political uncertainty continues, unfortunately, it will affect the whole country. Because I already said that you cannot now crush the voices of the people. And the people have sent a very, very strong messages to all sides. And after the yesterday incident, the people are still protesting on the roads of Swat. The TTP is now strong than the past because they have now a very strong base in Afghanistan. And despite Pakistan's repeated statement that the Afghan soil is being used against Pakistan, because there were a series of attacks along the border on Pakistani security forces and shaheeds in different areas. So, and I always say that the Afghan Taliban government would not take action against the TTP people for Pakistan. This I have been saying this. The Afghan Taliban always in the denial mode. They always say, no, TTP is not there. But Pakistan say they are there. They are attacking from there. So this is also a very serious challenge for us. How to convince the Afghan Taliban government to take action against them, because this is the Afghan Taliban commitment with the world, not only in the Doha agreement, but in the states, in meeting with Pakistani, the people. So if the TTP was not stopped in Afghanistan, this will be a very serious challenge for us, because the TTP is not now limited to mountains. They are now in cities. They are now free. There is no drone strike like in the past against them in Afghanistan, because many TTP leaders have been killed in Afghanistan by the US drones. Then there is no Ashraf Ghani government to take action against them, because the TTP people were in jails. But all people, the TTP people were released last year in August when the Taliban broke jails. So they are not free. They are not there. So this is also a serious challenge, and this also needs a very serious approach towards the Afghan government to deal with the TTP issue.